Hi and Assalamualaikum to Miss Jamhira and to all my fellow classmates. So today me and my group member would like to present about the policy education, the Razak Report 1956.
They say the soul never changes. It's the one thing that stays constant. While what we see around us may change and grow, the feeling of where it came will always stay the same. The soul is life, guiding us to make us who we are. What we are and where we go. And where I'm from, we go forward. So come, we have much more to share. Malaysia, truly Asia.
So before we start, let me introduce my group member. The first one is Nurul Fahana binti Hisham. The second one, Muhammad Azrin bin Abdul Muttalib. The third one, Alia Mustika binti Muhammad Nur. The fourth, Ahmad Farid Imran bin Kamaruzaini. The fifth, Intan Mazlina binti Mustafa. And the last one is me, Nur Filza Fatiha binti Mat Jelani.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Farhana binti Hisham. I will be start to talk about the introduction of Tun Razak Report 1956. The Razak Report was introduced in April 1956. It was aimed to establish a unified education system in Malaysia and emphasizing the national language as the primary medium of instruction to foster unity among diverse racial communities. Besides that, this report was promote standardized curricular and active participation and co-curricular activities to cultivate national identity and solidarity among the students. Others, this report also promoting the social cohesion and aligned with Malaysian national ideology of unity, justice and progress outlined in the Rukun Negara. Next, I will be talking about the policy problems. Firstly is post-independence Malaya education system. For the first problem was Malay community experienced extreme poverty at the beginning of the independence. There were many people who relied on the Islamic institutions before, for example like pondok, madrasah and so on. Therefore, to improve the Malay community, Tunku Abdul Rahman led the changes that combine Malay and non-Malay school in one effort to promote ethnic harmony and increase educational opportunities. Next is narrowing of Malaysia's education policy to focus on teaching language. The implementation of this report, Malay and English are the main teaching language and standardized tests were implemented to guarantee uniformity throughout all the schools in Malaysia. Thirdly, to develop towards the national education system. This Razak Report 1956 was aimed for building the united country through the education system by using Bahasa Melayu as the national language and the language of instruction. Hence, the creation of Malay Secondary School and Language Teachers College are the two initiatives that have expanded the Malays' access to the higher education. The next policy problem is different educational standards and curricula based on ethnicity and colonial influences. For the first one is different ethnic groups receiving instruction that was specific to their linguistic and cultural origins. For example, the curricula and language of teaching used in school by the Chinese, Indian, and Malay group were typically representative of their respective backgrounds, which caused societal differences and disrupted the creation of a single national identity. Number 2 is the creation of unified national education system. The difference in educational standards between rural and urban areas is one example of how the education system is fragmented. As a result of inadequate educational infrastructure and resources, rural areas frequently provided less chance for pupils based only on where they live. In contrast, urban centers typically had access to better equipped schools with trained teachers. Lastly is the creation of framework for a more integrated and equitable education system. Through equal access to high-quality education, regardless of geographic location or ethnic background, these changes sought to promote social integration and national unity among all Malaysians. As such, the suggestion made in the Tun Razak report marked a turning point in Malaysian educational history and a move towards an education system that is more equal and inclusive that will reflect the country's multicultural and diverse population.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Ahmad Farid Imran and I'll be presenting about the objectives of the Razak report. The first objective is to promote unity, understanding and cooperation. The Razak report focuses on all people, including all races and backgrounds. The Razak report main objective is to enact a policy that can create a national education system that will promote unity, understanding and cooperation among Malaysia's multi-ethnic population. This is because Malaysia is a country that has many different races, religion, ethnicity. Malaysia is a very diverse country, and education is helping in promoting a sense of unity in a country of that has all sorts of different races. The second objective is to provide an equal educational opportunities. The Razak report aims to make sure that everyone in Malaysia, no matter where they came from or how much money they had, can get access to good education. By doing this, the report hopes to level the playing field and give everyone an equal chance to learn and grow. This report is all about making sure that no one is left behind just because they could not afford education. Overall, the Razak report aims to make sure that education is fair and accessible to all Malaysians regardless of their background. For the third and the final objective of the Razak report, it is to elevate the status of the Malay language. The Razak report aims to establish the Malay language as an important part of the Malaysian identity. It aims to make the Malay language as the main language in schools and across the country. So the rationale behind this, prioritizing the Malay language in education, it extends beyond mere linguistic proficiency. It is about imbuing the language with a sense of importance and significance to the Malaysians. This policy aims to elevate the status of Malay by positioning as a symbol of national pride and unity. Overall, the Razak report objective was to grant the Malay language as a central role in the Malaysian society, and so that it will promote a sense of collective and cohesion among a diverse population.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azrain and I'm going to present the strategy on this proposal. The first strategy is integration system in which all races and ethnicities has the freedom of entry to enter the schools. They will all have the opportunities and receive the education and same common syllabus by scholars' recommendation as stated in Chapter 6 of Secondary Education in Razak Report 1956. It is to eliminate discrimination and segregation among society. The policy emphasizes that it is an important step towards establishing a national system of education which will satisfy the needs of people and prospers the cultural, social, economic, and political development as a nation. The second strategy is the expansion of education infrastructure in education, in which at that time the disparity was large and reformation is needed by the government to enrich the education throughout entire urban and rural areas. In order to reach the education towards the region, is by putting budget revenue and supply of textbooks whereby the allowance made available to help pupils whose parents are having financial problems. This initiative of this strategy has capability to augmentation the education system and dynamics framework that can broaden knowledge throughout the region that also will bring unity in the citizen and receive the same education. The third strategy is Malay language as medium communication. As we know that it is part of our national identity and we have to empower them to bring togetherness in the society. It will also help to ease the communication with each other and ease the standardization of education system in Malaysia. Thank you, and that's all from me.
So next is about strength of this policy. First is clear vision and framework. The Razak Report was a comprehensive document that outlined specific goals and strategies for Malaysia's education system. It recommended the establishment of national education system with a standardized curriculum, the use of Malay as the medium of instruction, and the implementation of policies to promote national unity. This vision provided a clear direction for policymakers and educators. So the supporting evidence that we can see that the report itself served as primary evidence of its clear vision and framework. Additionally, the subsequent implementation of its recommendation by the Malaysian government demonstrates its practical application and impact on education system. So the next strength is the promotion of Malay language and cultural identity. The Razak Report emphasized the importance of Malay language and culture in the education system as a means of promoting national unity and identity. It recommended Malay as the medium of instruction in schools and included subjects like Malay language and like literature in the curriculum. So the supporting evidence that we can see is following the implementation of the Razak Report, there was a significant increase in the use of Malay in education and administration. This can be observed through the adoption of Malay as the primary medium of instruction in schools and the inclusion of Malay language subjects in the curriculum. Additionally, the promotions of Malay language and culture contributed to the strengthening of national identity among Malaysians. Last but not least, about the strength of the Razak reports is standardized education across the country and reduce disparities between different ethnics. So, the Razak report aimed to standardize education across the country and reduce disparities between different ethnic groups by providing equal opportunities for all nations. It recommended the establishment of a uniform national education system with a consistent curriculum, standards, and policies. So, the supporting evidence that we can see is following the implementation of the report, there was a noticeable improvement in the standardization of education across Malaysia. This can be seen through the establishment of a uniform curriculum and examination system, which help to ensure the consistency in educational standards across different regions. Additionally, the provision of financial assistance and scholarship to disadvantaged students help to reduce disparities in educational access and attainment. By examining this strength in detail and providing supporting evidence at all, it becomes evident that the Razak report had a significant and positive impact on Malaysia's education system, contributing to the promotion of national unity, cultural identity, and equal education opportunities of all Malaysians.
Hi, my name is Filza Fatihah. I will continue with the evaluation of weakness. So, we are exploring the debate surrounding vernacular school perpetuate ethnic division in Malaysia, such as SJKC and SJKT and their impact on racial division. Some argue that this school by segregating students based on ethnicity may exacerbate tension between different racial groups. However, recent trends show a rise in non-Chinese enrollment in Chinese vernacular school, challenging the idea that these schools are exclusive to one ethnic group. For example, over 45% of students of SJKC Tiong Hua Kok Bin in Klang are not Chinese, providing that these schools are not solely Chinese by Zairi K. Johari 2015. Moreover, a national school are becoming more homogeneous with the majority of students being Bumiputra, prompting questions about the true drivers of ethnic division. In conclusion, while vernacular schools face criticism, factors beyond ethnicity such as educational quality and competitiveness significant influence school choice, highlighting the need for a nuanced understanding of the issue. Let's move on to the next weaknesses, which is rapid implementation, challenge in education policy. Picture this, trying to revamp infrastructure, train teachers and develop new curricula in record time is a tough nut to crack. Here's the kicker. Lack of communication and demand on personal time make it harder. Teachers are already stretched thin and adding more to their plate can lead to the burnout. But it's not just about logistics, we need to focus on adapting teaching method to suit diverse student needs, especially those who with ADHD and autism. Personalized attention is a key, and let's talk about the differentiation tailoring learning experience to each student level and preference. It's a vital but often overlooked due to the time constraint. Enter Educational Resource Center, ERC, according to Fansiro Akinquato and INA 2024. This hub provides crucial support from training to resource, ensuring teachers have the tools they need to succeed. In a nutshell, rapid policy implementation in education face hurdles, but with strategic solution and support from ERC, we can navigate this challenge and create more inclusive learning environment for all. And the last one is we are addressing concern about the marginalization of non-Malay language and culture in Malaysia education, evaluation weaknesses in education policies, stemming from historical and policy-driven factors. This concern centered around the new education policy of 1971, which emphasized Malay as the medium of instruction for national unity. However, according to KC 2016, this move risks sidelining non-Malay language like Chinese and Tamil taught in vernacular school, diluting Malaysia cultural diversity and potentially exacerbating ethnic tension. The transition away from English to Malay has also sparked debates over the role of vernacular school in promoting national unity or celebrating Malaysia's diverse heritage. Amidst globalization and ethnic nationalism, the debate persists on whether Malaysia should prioritize Malay or embrace the diversity of its language and cultures. In summary, this concern underscored the delicate balance between national unity, ethnic diversity, and the evolving demands of the globalized world.
Hi, my name is Sinta Mazina Mati Mustafa and I'm going to continue the discussion in the recommendation part. So, first recommendation is implementing multicultural education. This means we include different culture, history and language in what we teach. So, for example, instead of just learning about the big historical events, we also learn about the custom of the orang asli and the cool stuff that the Chinese and Indians have brought to Malaysia. Multicultural education is about adding more colors to our policy, making it more fun and interesting. This helps us understand each other better and feel like we all belong together. Next is overcoming implementation obstacle. Sometimes policy have an obstacle. For multicultural education, the obstacle is not having enough resources and training, so we need the government to help more. For instance, give a better training for teachers, more money for school, and so on. Teachers are like the tour guide on this journey, and with the right training, they can show us all the cool things about the Malaysia diversity. However, we can't tackle this alone, so the government, school, and even NGO can work together to overcoming these challenges. So let's imagine if we had a fun digital stuff to learn from or co-project to do together. So by team up together, we can make things happen and come up with the really cool ideas. Last but not least is facilitating disclosure and community participation. As you need to know, it's something we do together as big Malaysian family. The government can create places where we can all talk, for instance, like big chats where teachers, parents, students, and leaders can share ideas. By sharing our ideas and listening to each other, we can break down misunderstanding and build connection among all of us. Imagine Malaysians from different backgrounds coming together to share their story and dream for education. This is how we can create a Malaysia where everyone feels valued and included. So to sum up everything, by including all the recommendations, we can build a stronger and more united Malaysia. Thank you.
In conclusion, this proposal made after Malaysia independence is one of the important pillars to build the nation in conjunction of other public policies at that time. Razak Report 1956 has given full insight on what is needed for the people to strive the nation, and the evidence available by research and statistics shown that Malaysia has successfully in flourishing the education system in Malaysia. The education policy should always have suggestions and recommendations as the society is moving in fast-paced, and the improvement of quality of life is dependent on the public education to ensure social mobility and breaking the cycle of poverty in Malaysia. Addressing the problem in the education system in Malaysia, the proposed policy is crucial for nurturing a more equitable education system and ensuring that quality education is accessible to the public.